Hello, and again, welcome to Bit Depth. I'm Santiago Ramones. Across from me is Duquan Haynes. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
What do you do?
Well, I write poetry in my spare time, play video games, and I work at a heat and air company. Yeah.
Which of these things do you consider, or just? Well, I mean, you go to ACM.
Yes.
So, first of all, what's your major?
Music business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why music business?
Because I honestly thought that would be the smartest move.
Yeah. Probably smarter than, some of the people that are like, I don't know how to like manage money or anything, and I'm barely living ramen to ramen, and so let's do performance.
Yeah, so I chose business.
Which is nothing against performance people. I'm just saying that it's hard. It's hard for everyone though.
Yeah.
What do you want to get out of your business degree?
Well, I want to work with music publishing and royalties, because that's where all the money is going, and probably won't. That'll be the only side of the industry that probably won't go away.
Yeah. So are you gonna be an artist yourself, or you just want to work with artists?
Both. But I feel like I live a very splintered life. Like I feel like I have a second life, and sometimes I daydream that I'm an artist, and that's probably the dream. That's probably my dream, but I don't know. I don't know if reality will come, and I just have to work with artists.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to work hard towards what you really want, and then life will sort of funnel you towards what it wants you to, I guess.
I hope so. I need a better work ethic though, because after school work and I got an internship, sometimes I'm just super tired and I don't have time to do it.
So I mean, what do you like? What kind of music do you do? First of all,
probably rap, hip hop, maybe a little R&B.
Yeah,
I like concept type stuff. So
okay.
I have ideas. The idea for my first thing, if I ever get around to making it, and it's inspired by. You ever play Dragon Age?
Yeah,
it's inspired from Dragon Age.
Okay,
I have a story to it and everything.
Dang.
Yeah.
I think the world needs more nerdy rappers.
I think they do too, because it can't only be Childish Gambino, man.
Exactly. I mean, so do you consider yourself more of a rapper or more of a singer?
Rapper. If I was rapping would be the ice cream, and then singing would be just a little sprinkle on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it a little odd whenever it's not odd, but like you said, Childish Gambino, he sings a little bit, but it's it's not great.
Yeah.
But it's there, he's singing, so cool.
I wouldn't sing a whole bunch. Maybe for a couple hooks or choruses, so I don't have to ask anyone else for help.
And so what is most of the content that you've been making?
Well, I have. So the concept for it is basically. So you said you played Dragon Age.
I mean, I've played a little bit of Dragon Age. I played more Mass Effect than Dragon Age.
See, I played a lot. That's what my second project was based on, Mass Effect. But do you remember this thing called the Fade in Dragon Age? So basically, the Fade is where whenever you dream, you go to the Fade, and where demons and spirits are, they're all in the Fade. Those three things are in the Fade. And the concept of my whole tape is I'm in the Fade.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I have different little themes and tones that I'm using.
Yeah.
To match my journey through the Fade.
Yeah. How'd you get started doing rap music?
Rap music, I think probably in 8th grade after I heard So Far Gone from Drake. And so I started writing a little bit, and I would just show it to my best friend Duquan, and he would tell me that it was good, and he would keep on telling me, write some more. And then I don't know, I started to realize I was kind of good at it, even though I haven't put out a lot of stuff.
Oh, sure. But
I think I'm pretty good at it though.
I think every artist, musician needs a little bit of hey, I think I'm pretty good at this, or else you wouldn't put it out there, you know. So what was kind of your first stuff about, especially like eighth grader, rapping or
Oh
whatever?
man, I think the first rap, like full rap song I ever wrote about was about like a heartbreak. I was so heartbroken in eighth grade. I was very emotional. I think I just got broken up with, and it was just a sad song. It was very sad and emo. Like it was not good at all. It was not good.
Well, I mean, but I mean, it was good enough for your friend to be like, "Hey, man, you should write more."
Yeah. I mean, it was good for an eighth grader to write it, but I like saw it recently and I was like, oh my God, what was I talking about? Like the rhyme scheme was horrible. Like it just wasn't good.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to start somewhere. I'm
Yeah.
sure Eminem wasn't just like
That is true.
spitting hot fire all the time. Like,
That is true. At least if you look back on something and it kind of makes you cringe, at least you know you're getting better. So, yeah.
And then who sort of catapulted you to sort of be like, I mean, you mentioned Drake, but like, what were some other artists that like?
Back then it was Drake, and I used to be a big Lupe Fiasco fan, but as I got older, I fell into listening to Childish Gambino, and then my freshman year of college, I really got into Joey Badass, and he's in my top 3 favorite rappers. Like he switched up the rhyme schemes I like to use and the different flows that I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to Joey Badass.
He's good, man. He's coming to town October 2nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my brother's birthday. So then, what was it that you got out of school in high school or whatever, and you go, I can't do anything else but music?
Okay, so I went to OSU for psychology. I took AP psychology in high school, and I was pretty good at it. Like I got the college credit for taking the test because I did well on the test. And I don't know, like I said, I feel like my life is splintered. So I see myself in all these different lives that I can live. And one of them, I was a psychologist. And so I went for that one, but I could have done it, but I don't know, something about OSU, the campus, I was not feeling it.
Okay.
I wasn't feeling it. Yeah.
I mean, were you like doing all right? Were you getting good grades, or were you just
I was getting good grades. I just wasn't, I don't know. I guess we'll see when I'm older if I made the right decision, but I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. And so at what point were you just like, I have to make music for a living?
I think after my first year, during that summer, I just had a real long like talk with myself, like, Duquan, are you sure you want to do this? What do you want to do? And I knew that I still wanted to do something with music, no matter what.
Yeah.
If it was making music or working in the music industry, I could be working in the music industry and still do music on the side. Like
Exactly.
my like goal for making music isn't really for like to be like world renowned or anything.
Sure.
I just want to make it myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I just got to get it out of my head because it's just stuck in my head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ACM, you're doing business, but like, did you want to do performance or production, or are you just kind of more here to just like get your grounding or something?
No, I wanted to do business. I like specifically chose it because I wanted to know how the industry like really worked, and I wanted them to really teach me from a business perspective, so I can know if I'm getting played or not.
Yeah.
Because if you're an artist, you need to know. Like, see here, I learned a lot about royalties. I did not know they got that in depth. In that's where like the majority of the money was.
Yeah.
And that's how whenever you sign those contracts, they always like mess you up, mess your life up. It always has to do with royalties, and I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I suppose musicians have to make money.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know. If it was up to a lot of musicians, we just kind of make music and just live, you know. But we gotta survive.
Yeah, I wish I could just make music and just chill. Just chill. Oh man. I'm gonna try and release something soon. I'm gonna try.
Do you do any producing, or do you like hit up a friend? And
I usually go to my friend Anthony Urbison, aka Irby808. So go to him if you need production.
There you go. Is that like his website or?
No, that's his producer name, Irby808.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to plug him in there real quick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can plug whatever you want, whenever you want.
Shout out to Duquan and my mom and my sister and my heart.
Okay, and then video games.
Oh yeah. See, you about to get me started. Yeah. Yeah, I love video games, man. Like video games saved my life. They saved
Really?
Yes, I love video games.
How'd they save your life?
They're the best distraction in the world. Besides music, best distraction in the world. Yes.
So, first of all, the hardest question.
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite video game?
Okay. This is hard because it's like a three-way tie. Like
Right.
I can't. It's three-way tie between Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic,
Ooh.
Mass Effect 2, and Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Three-way tie. Like I
Yeah.
can't choose one.
Looks like you like BioWare.
I love. They're my favorite game company of
Yeah.
all time. Yeah.
I don't. Real quick.
Yeah.
Just to digress a little bit. How do you feel about the Mass Effect 3 ending?
Man. Okay. Oh my. You don't understand. I was like a conspiracy theorist. Like, no, this isn't real. Like, they're going to release something. And like, I would look up like theories on YouTube, like indoctrination theory and stuff. Like, no, this is all fake. He's just been indoctrinated and all this stuff. But it kind of hurt my heart a little bit that that's how the story ended.
Yeah.
It didn't feel, that's not how it should have ended.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I did not like it.
What about the game in general, though?
Oh, it's a real good game.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't take away that much. Like, on a scale from, like, 1 to 10, I was still rated to 9.5. It just loses a 0.5 for
Yeah.
that ending.
And I feel like whenever people try and judge a
Yeah.
game for, oh, well, the ending was bad, and so,
Yeah.
like, the entire thing is awful. Like,
I wouldn't do
it doesn't take away from the fact that, like, you enjoyed the entire rest of the game.
Yeah. Because I put a good, I don't know how many hours, like 40, 50, 60 hours into it. And, like, the last hour, like, come on, I'm not about to say the whole game sucks. Yeah. And I even that's just one game. Like, the whole trilogy, I put in hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what really started your gaming?
My dad.
Okay.
My dad. He would play video games. But my most notable memory when I was like able to play with him was Halo 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, were you good, or was it just like...
I would back then
around?
when we first played Halo 1, I was not good. I would always die and fall off of random cliffs and just die. And he would basically beat the game, and I would just be there like looking at the wall trying to like walk around, but I couldn't play that well.
Yeah. How do you feel about the story in Halo?
Oh, I like the story in Halo.
Yeah.
I like it.
I feel like a lot of people like look at Halo and it's just like, oh, it's another just one of those just like
Like
bro
a shooter,
shooters or
yeah.
whatever. But like the story in Halo is
I like the story a lot.
I think, and it's just personally, but I think the science fiction in Halo is better than Star Wars.
I
Like,
can feel
it's a
that.
better science fiction than Star Wars.
I can feel that, yeah.
So I really like Halo.
Yeah, I'm a big Halo fan. Yeah.
And then what sort of like what propelled you, like what since the three things that you've said are your favorite game are RPGs,
Yeah.
what sort of took you from, starting out with Halo with your dad to going to like here's RPGs?
I think it was like a Christmas one time where he just got me Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, and I think that was my first time really playing an RPG.
Yeah.
Even though I got stuck on this planet and I couldn't get off, but it was still really fun.
Terrace, man.
Yeah, I got
It takes
stuck on
forever
Terrace.
to
I could
get
not
out of
get
Terrace.
off. I could not get off of that dang planet. I was
Yeah.
stuck, and I was like, "When do I get a lightsaber?" And it was just too much.
Yeah.
Uh,
But that twist, man.
to me, that's the best twist, like in any like medium of all time.
Yeah.
Like that was my favorite. Like movies, video games, they usually can't get me. There's only been one other video game that's got me. That's got me with a twist. It was BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are two games that got me, and I was like, oh my God.
Man, our entire second podcast is just going to be video games, I swear.
Yeah, but, I got it for days, man.
So, I mean, obviously, like, music is more important to you in the regard of, like, what you want to do with your life, but, like, how do you incorporate video games into all that?
I think it's cool. I like to leave little Easter eggs in it, like little lines that I'll say that only people that like video games would probably get. So I like doing stuff like that. And like I said, most of the concepts that I have for projects that I haven't ever released, that are just in my head, are all based on video games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Once again, just like the idea of like the nerdy rapper. I mean, have you heard of Megaran? Megaran does, he raps over chiptunes.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's another, like, something really cool about nerdy rappers is that the content of most rap is like, hey, like, screw girls and, like, get money.
Yeah, I'm not like, the biggest fan of that, like, sector of rap like that.
And so to sort of get the whole like coolness of, you know, rapping that's just behind rapping, but while also doing something about something that you love, that you know, is just whole world. What, I'm trying to pull like a good question out of it. So you mentioned publishing.
Yes.
What is it about, like, because even if you wouldn't do your own music, if that ends up, like, why publishing specifically?
Well, after I learned about how, basically the way these record labels are going, like, I don't see the brightest future for most of them. But as far as music publishing companies, they're going to be around for a very long time. And so just job security wise, I would bet my money on that besides the label, because they're always shuffling CEOs and employees are shutting down and going into other record companies. And I don't think I'm about that life. That sounds way too stressful. And I don't want to just wake up and be like, man, I think my job's about to disappear because people aren't buying music.
And then, because what, to the imbecile like me that doesn't know very much about, like, what really is music publishing? How is that different from a record label? How is that?
Okay, so basically, anytime that you see a song on, like, TV show, commercial, movie, that's just one example. I'll just stick to that one. So any of those, you have to pay the artist for using their work on those sort of mediums. And so you can but you can negotiate with the artist and how much money they receive for that, or you can just be a music supervisor, which is what I would like to do at a music publishing company. And they're just the people that get the songs on the movies.
So I mean, you know, you hit up, I don't know who's a good filmmaker. You hit up Christopher Nolan and you go, hey, I got this guy. He's got this really cool song. I know you're doing this movie about this thing. Yeah. You need to get this song on there.
And basically I get the artist paid, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because it seems that, at least from what I've heard, that artists lately, instead of getting paid more from their record label, they really just kind of go more in debt. But they end up like getting most of their money from publishing.
Unless they sign it away, which I don't give away your publishing anybody, because they will try to take it from you.
Get a good lawyer.
Yes.
Read that contract.
Yeah, that's why I also want to say that this school is pretty good, because Man, there's so many details about the music industry that I never would have even thought of. And there's so many different jobs. If you do like music or you like making music and it doesn't work out, there's a bunch of jobs that you can do, a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the best class that you've taken here that you've just been like, man, this just changed my life?
I don't know specific. Well, I'm taking contracts right now, which is pretty interesting if you want to be an artist or you just like knowing how they screw people over and the different clauses that you want your contract. But I don't know it's about a specific class, but a specific teacher who teaches like amazing things, and he'll go off on tangents, but they're always super educational. Scott Keaton.
Really?
Man, I learned so much from Scott Keaton. Like all the publishing stuff and some of the contract stuff too. I learned a lot of that from Scott Keaton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a ton of experience.
Yeah, a bunch of experience, yeah.
So I mean, are you going for the associates or the bachelor's, or where are you?
I already got my associates. I got it in the summer. So I'm going for the bachelor's. I'm honestly thinking about getting an MBA as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where would you
just
go for
here,
that?
just UCO.
Okay.
Because it's only 2 years. It's only 41 credits. So, and I didn't realize that. I'm like, 41 credits doesn't seem that bad actually. And you get a master's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just being able to be like, I have a master's.
Yeah, and I can be like, yo, I have 3 degrees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you looked into any publishing companies that you?
Yes. There's one I'm trying to intern at. I'm interning at the Criterion right now. But I want to, in the summer, actually, I want to intern at, I believe it's called Primary Wave Entertainment, and it's in New York.
Okay.
Yes.
And what sort of separates publishing companies from being, like, I don't know, like, because I just think of, like, ASCAP and BMI, but, like, what makes all these companies different? Why are there different companies? And
honestly, ASCAP and BMI are like just the super big ones probably. So you got the super big stars going to that one. But for right now, I've just been looking at the independent ones. I think Primary Wave Entertainment it might be one of the biggest independent music publishing companies in the country, I believe. Yeah.
And what artists are on that?
I am honestly not sure. I was just on their website, but I can't remember who.
Yeah, that's fine. And I think something else that is important about publishing is that, tying it back to video games, is that, like, it's not just artists that deal with publishing. It's composers. It's, all these other types of people that make music that may not be on, like, a record label, but they still have to get paid too.
Oh yeah. Yes.
So for you, like, what kind of artists would you like to be a supervisor for?
Anybody really. Like, I would love to do it for movies. So if just the music fits the scene, because I listen to like almost anything.
Yeah.
'Cause I love music in movies, and especially video games, man.
Yeah.
I think music in video games is like the best thing in the world, man. Yeah.
Just to get more hard questions out of the way, who's your favorite artist right now?
Favorite artist? I think overall it might be Childish Gambino.
Okay.
But I feel like it's not just because of his music, just his art in general, like everything he does, acting, comedy, directing, writing, music.
Exactly.
So it's probably Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
But if it's just straight music, it might be Joey Badass, just because I feel like there's no one out now that really, really sounds like him. He has his own little lane.
Yeah. And so to tie it into what you believe,
Yeah.
first of all, what do you believe? About the world,
about
about
the
the
world.
universe, and everything.
I believe that humans should be destroyed and that our time here is useless. No, I'm just like, I'm just saying. What do I believe? I believe that I wish that everyone would be nicer to each other, to be honest. I believe in a higher power. I think I'm pretty spiritual. I wouldn't go as far as say I'm very religious maybe when it comes to like organized religion, just because I feel like if you do too much research about certain things, then you get kind of pessimistic about stuff. But I try to stay optimistic because I don't like the way that people use religion as weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did you start out religious? Were you?
Oh yeah, we
grow
went to
up? Okay.
church a lot when I was younger. So I think I still retain some of that. A lot of my beliefs in a higher power, but I don't know. I just see how people get manipulated by certain things, and then how people can take certain things and discriminate against people or even kill people just because of it. There's a lot of killing because of religion.
Yeah. But clearly you still have you still care about people enough to be
Yeah.
I don't want people to be manipulated.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I think just observant. I feel like I'm very observant and I'm very curious. So even when I was younger, when they would tell me certain things, I would just be like, why? How come?
Yeah.
And sometimes people couldn't give me answers, so that made me dig into it even more.
Exactly.
And so I don't know. I feel like I'll always stay curious. I'm just a very curious person.
Yeah. But I mean, you also have goodwill. I feel like any other person that, might stray from religion, could either go oh, because religion hurts people, or they might just be I just want to screw the world and destroy everything.
Yeah.
But what keeps you on the helping people side?
I honestly don't know. Maybe I don't want to sound weird. I just feel like maybe I have a good heart. Maybe I don't. I really don't know. Maybe I was raised right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some nature versus nurture type stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, how much did your mom hit you for being, whatever?
She raised me pretty well. She raised me for real. She's a nice lady.
I mean, who do you see in your life as your biggest role model as far as how good you should be? Or...
Probably my mom and my sister. My mom and my sister. Yeah.
Why your mom first of all, and then why your sister?
Well, they're like my best friends, and the three of us were kind of like our own little family unit, and we just been through a lot together. And so I've seen both of them just grow as people. I saw my mom start completely over after a divorce. Then I saw my sister be a little baby to she's going to Howard University in DC now, and she's doing big stuff. She did the Easter egg hunt at the White House.
Dang.
Which is pretty cool. She's doing some cool stuff.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, how old were you whenever your parents were divorced?
I think I was, man, it was so drawn out. I think they technically got divorced when I was maybe in 8th grade or something, but we moved here. We used to live in Memphis, and then they separated when I was in 5th grade. And so I'll just say that's when they got divorced. Yeah.
How did that impact you?
I feel 5th grade to 8th grade, that time was a very emotional time for someone. So I was a very emotional person. I think it affected me a lot, probably. It probably affected me to this day. I think it affected me because my dad, his was adultery, unfortunately. So I feel like it affected me in the way where I overcompensate with loyalty to people.
Sure.
So I feel like that's what my mom told me, because she has a master's in psychology and stuff.
Okay.
And so she was like, yeah, I feel like you overcompensate with loyalty because of your father's infidelity. And I was like, you might be right, Mom. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously that has a big impact on you. And so How did your mom handle it?
Like the strongest person in the world. She literally, she went back to college. She didn't have a bachelor's. She went back to college, got a bachelor's and a master's.
Yeah.
She was going to school and working a job and doing household stuff, laundry, cooking, making sure we were fed. She did a lot. Like, I don't know how she did to this day, to be honest, because I'm stressing out after school, working an internship. She did that times 20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, moms are superheroes.
Yeah, they are, man. It's crazy. It is, man.
So I mean, with that, like, does she know that you're like not quite so religious anymore, or?
I think so. I think she does. I mean, she knows I still believe in a higher power, that I'm very spiritual, because I have like OCD kind of. So like I have one of my things with my OCD is I have to like pray real quick. Like whenever something bad I feel like it's about to happen, I have to just pray real quick. Like I could be driving and sometimes I'll like close my eyes, but I need to stop doing that because I'm gonna like accidentally hurt myself. I have like really bad OCD. It used to be very bad where I have to like get up and go knock on the door like 5 times in the middle of the night and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, what drives that? Like,
Paranoia. I think that's the foundation of it, because I'm like, if I don't do it,
that's gonna happen.
Yeah, like I'll be like, if I don't do this, my sister's gonna die, and I'm like, well, I don't want my sister to die, so I have to go knock on this door like 5 times, and that happens like all the time.
I mean, how do you keep it in check? You just
Sometimes I'm able to be like, no, Duquan, this isn't real, but sometimes I can't. At least it's not super bad. I'll probably say it's like acute OCD. I don't want to say I have like severe OCD, because I know some people that like it'll like ruin their lives or something, but it doesn't get in the way. It's not like a obstacle or anything.
how do you? I mean, I can tell that you're like a very like kind, heartfelt kind of dude.
Thank you.
Even though, I mean, especially kind of like where we go to school, we got like people partying all over the place. We got like, how do you keep, yourself in check?
I feel like I never really struggled with trying to like know who I was as a person, really. I feel like I've always known myself, and I've always had friends try to figure out who they are. But I don't know, I think I've always just known who I was. I was just a weird dude that was funny sometimes, that liked video games and music.
Yeah.
Very simple. I don't like going out to parties or anything. I like playing video games. I love watching movies. I think I'm just a simple person, really. When it comes to that, I don't think I'm simple. I feel like I'm super complex, but when it comes to my activities or my things like that, like I don't have a vice or anything. So
Yeah. I mean, some people consider video games to be a vice, but
I feel like my vice would be people. I think.
Why is that?
The opinion of people, maybe. I don't want to let people down, and sometimes I have a hard time saying no. And I need to say no more.
I mean, what are some situations that you've put yourself in that you're like, man, I should have said no?
It's nothing crazy. It'll probably be like, I think it's probably usual stuff that a lot of people deal with, where they're like, man, I told that person I want to hang out, but I really don't want to. I just want to relax, but I'll still go through with it and stuff. But I need to learn how to be like, no, man, I'm not trying to hang out. I'm just trying to watch Stranger Things or something.
My girlfriend and I also started watching.
Did you
Stranger
finish
Things. We haven't finished it
I
yet.
won't say nothing.
Yeah,
I won't say anything.
That's okay. It's also like way too like. It kind of just came out, and so talking about it on a podcast, like,
that's a good
can't just
idea,
throw
too.
up spoilers already.
That is true, because I hate, especially when I'll go on Twitter and the episode just came out and they'll be like, man, this happened on this show. And I'm just like, yo, at least wait a couple days. Like, man, I'm like at work. I haven't even got a chance to go home and watch it.
Exactly.
See, you're a calm person, because I was about to, well, I wouldn't have said anything because you haven't watched it, but if you watched it, we would have spoiled it for everybody.
No, I make sure to watch out for people. But like, I mean, ruining the Mass Effect 3 ending is not really that
it's
bad.
been too
Like
long.
it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But you know, mentioning something like Stranger Things is a little bit too soon.
Yeah, it's too soon. There's one thing that I won't ever spoil, even though it's been years, but because the twist is so good, like I'll never spoil Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay.
I will never spoil it for someone. I'll just tell people that you got to play it right
Yeah.
now. You have to play it
Everyone
right
needs
now.
to play that game.
Play that game if you haven't played it. It's amazing.
What is kind of the biggest thing that, I mean, you mentioned people is your vice.
Yeah.
Why care so much?
I don't know. I remember when I was in AP psychology in high school, my teacher told me I have super strong mirror neurons, and she said that I have I don't want to say too much empathy. I just have my capacity for empathy is kind of strong. Like I have very good, very strong mirror neurons. Like if I look and see, I'm looking at you. I can't really look at eyes that much because they'll make me cry for some reason. So if I look at people's eyes too long, my eyes start to water, and it's very weird. If I see anyone crying, I'll probably start crying too, and I'll be like, "It's okay, man. We'll get through it together." Yeah.
That's a good thing though. I think more people need to feel for each other. To really, I mean, looking around nowadays, like
It's crazy nowadays.
just the amount of hatred going around. You know, how do you deal with that?
I have no idea, man. I really like. Okay, let's talk about it. What's your views on the Confederate flag?
This one's about you, man.
Okay. Okay. We're in Oklahoma right now, so I'll talk about the Confederate flag.
Let's go.
'Cause I used to live in Memphis, and so they had the Confederate flag there too.
Mm-hmm.
I see the Confederate flag, and I see Donald Trump stickers all the time, and there's a correlation with racism and the Confederate flag. I don't think that you can deny that at all. And I had an argument with one of my friends because he was telling me it was a part of his culture, the Confederate flag. And I can understand culture. Like I love culture and all different cultures, but I don't like when people try to claim something that they don't even know about. Because most people don't even know a Confederate flag wasn't the flag for the southern states. It was a war flag that they used when they were killing different soldiers and black soldiers and things like that, or just people of color that were soldiers. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. That's just my little thing on the Confederate flag. I'm not a fan of it.
Well, and so what do you say to a person that's just like, whatever, just, let this fly at the Capitol building or whatever?
As I get older, I'm starting to realize that you can't turn everybody to your cause. Some people are just stuck in the ways. Some people won't try to understand your point of view. I try to understand people's point of view all the time, but sometimes people just don't want to hear you, and you got to learn when to just let that person live their life, I guess. When it's on that scale, but if it's
once it starts hitting you,
just not even that. If it's on the scale of, okay, we're going to, so I believe you should let people live their lives, but if your life is dedicated to harming people, then we gotta put a stop to that, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
How do you? I mean, yeah, we're musicians, but
Yeah.
How do you go about stopping people from harming people?
I try, if I ever see anything, any racism, any bullying, any discrimination, I try to always do something about it, say something, or because I don't know, I feel like I become a little bit more reserved and a little bit more shy, but as soon as I see it, my blood boils.
Sure.
And I cannot stand when I see someone being harmed or taken advantage of, so I have to say something about
stories behind that?
Let me think for a sec. I like how one, it's not one about racism or anything. Or this is when I was a little kid. Maybe this
Sure.
this was the foundation of me sticking up for people. Maybe.
Sure.
So we're at Target. It's my dad, my mom, and my sister. I think I might be 7, so my sister might be 3. So we're playing on the little video game in the video game section at Target.
Mm-hmm.
My sister's playing a game after I go to look at some CDs.
Mm-hmm.
I look over and some kid punches my sister in the stomach.
What?
And like she's on the ground crying.
Mm-hmm.
So my like dad pulls me aside and he was like, "You obviously have to punch this kid because he just hurt your sister. He just hurt your sister." And so he was like pumping me up, giving me like this big old like Eye of the Tiger speech. Like, yeah, you got to go in there and protect her. You can't let this happen. And so he was like, "Now go get him." And I went over there and I punched the dude in the stomach as hard as I could. And then he was crying. And then law of equivalent exchange, man.
How do you feel about that now?
This is gonna sound weird. He got what he deserved. I don't promote violence at all, but if you touch my sister, you gotta go. You gotta go. Or my mom, you gotta go.
Yeah. I mean, I look into a whole lot of like moral philosophy and stuff like that, and so there is a level of distinction where, you know, to one extent you go, well, this is just like, in general, violence is bad.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you start turning on yourself, it's like, well, if you touch my sister, like, is there some hypocrisy there?
I love those moral questions, man. 'Cause I love philosophy, and it just makes me realize how hypocritical everyone is, man. It's so interesting. I love philosophy. I'll say I'm a hypocrite, yeah. I think everyone's a hypocrite, and I think you're a hypocrite if you say you're not a hypocrite. Yeah.
But I mean, but in general, with violence, at least, what do you got? Like,
I'm anti-war, I'll say that.
Yeah.
At least the wars that have been going on, because if people do the research for it, then you'll realize that you're not fighting for what you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I don't know if I should get into this.
Go for it.
Man, these wars nowadays, man, the marketing strategy for this is so profound, how they can make it seem so patriotic when in reality it's really not at all. All.
I mean, are you a patriotic dude? I think not at all, but
this is how I feel about being patriotic. I think I am the most patriotic person in the country because that I like the idea of what America can be. I love what America can be, like what it is. Just what it can be, but what it is right now, and I think it's patriotic to call America out on it. That's what I think. That's my idea of what a patriot is, at least. A patriot to me is someone that sees the country going down the wrong path and they like try to put a stop to it and like, hold on, we're going the wrong path. We need to turn right here.
So, Edward Snowden.
The movie that's about to come out, I'm about to watch that. So, yeah, I like him. I think I might catch flack for that, but I think what he did was necessary because you have to let people know what's going on. Mm-hmm. If he wouldn't have done that, we probably would have found out later. But it's good. I like that he did that. Mm-hmm. I think honestly, I probably would have did the same thing if I was in this position.
Sure.
That's a very hard decision though because you put everyone you love at risk for that, and you have to move out the country. You're living in fear for like probably the rest of his life, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the dude lives in Russia because he like can't go home.
Man, the sacrifice. I think I was just thinking about that before I came over here because I was looking at an IGN review over the movie that's coming out. I don't know if it's out already or if it's just coming out. But I was just thinking about what kind of person can make that sacrifice. Like you can like give up everything for the greater good like that. Because it's hard sometimes to make a sacrifice for the greater good. And man, oh man.
But going back to patriotism.
Yeah.
So there's a level of like patriotism and like, you know, defending one's country as a soldier or whatever, but like you say about these wars going on, what does it mean to be a patriotic soldier in an unjust war?
Then they might be some hypocrites. Maybe they don't know, but I don't want to put all the blame on them because most of the time they don't know. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people will go to war and come back and be like, yo, this isn't what I thought it was. What we're fighting for isn't, like, once they do the research themselves and see what it's for. And and people don't know, I don't want to get your podcast shut down if I, like, say some conspiracy controversy. Okay. Well, for people that don't know, that the U.S. hires mercenaries to fight a lot of the wars. They hire people that are in the country, and long story short, some of the mercenaries they hired became ISIS, so it came back and bit them in the butt. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's happened before. That happened with Al Qaeda.
Yeah, Osama bin Laden, like they worked with him. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that happened like because of Russia was occupying Afghanistan.
Yeah. I love politics. Like I don't like it, but it's just interesting from like just a reading about it, researching it standpoint. It would be the best like fiction book of all time, but unfortunately, it's real.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the world is very interesting.
To you, what is the biggest problem going on?
The biggest problem, maybe. I think the biggest problem in the world is lack of understanding. So I think that can be, under that umbrella, you can have perspective and empathy and everything like that. But understanding, I think, is the thing that we all need. Because if you understand, man, if we all just understood, like if we just understood each other, there wouldn't be a need for violence. There wouldn't be a need for racism, discrimination, anything like that. And I feel like that's the missing ingredient.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you want world peace?
I would love world peace, but unfortunately,
can it happen?
It will not happen. I love that as a philosophy question. Can there be world peace? No.
Why no?
As long as somebody wants power, there'll never be peace. And as long as there's humans, there'll never be peace.
What is it about humans that cause a lack of peace?
I don't think it's just humans. I think it's just, unfortunately, maybe in our nature, maybe like animal kingdom type stuff. It's just, in the animal kingdom, there's the top dog and then there's the people below them. And unfortunately, that happens with humans as well. People get power and they abuse it.
Sure.
Man.
I mean, because again, like this is a podcast about you, so I'm just trying to pull your wisdom,
my views.
I mean, going into a little bit of that, like, why power?
Why power? Honestly have no idea. It's just people love power. People love being the person in charge. Like, why does the lion want to be the top lion in its pride? It's just in their DNA, maybe, that we're hardwired that way.
I mean, do you seek power?
Do I seek power? Maybe in a way. In my own little bubble, I would like power. But in power, I don't want to be powerful over so many people. I just want to have the power to control my destiny, maybe. I just want the power to make sure, like, my family's okay, my friends are okay, that I live a cool life and
you care about
successful.
Your people.
Yeah. But I would say, I would love to be powerful to take care of people, but that's what powerful people do. They take care of people, but what about the other people that aren't in their circle? And that's what we are, I guess. We're not in the circle.
I mean, this is my brother has a podcast too, but nice. Like, what would you do because this is a question from his podcast, like, what would you do to fix the world if you were like, here we go, Duquan is dictator of the world. First decree.
My first decree as dictator would be to give up my dictatorship. Yeah.
Give it to who?
I would. This is like, I would, as my role as dictator, I would say there was no more dictators. But then that would still make me a dictator because everyone would have to listen to me. I honestly don't know. I don't think I'd be that good of a dictator. I'd be the worst. I'd be the worst dictator, worst like president probably, because I could not deal with those type of problems. I got too much heart, and like I would like, people would hate me. People would hate me.
Can you solve those problems with heart?
Honestly, I think if you want to go into politics like that,
It's not even necessarily politics. It's just like making sure the world works.
I don't know what I could do to make sure the world works without like being like a higher power and be like, boom, everyone has understanding of each other. Everyone will be nice. Everyone will just love each other and be kind. I don't know what I could do as dictator.
Do you want to change the world?
I remember Tupac said something, and I feel like more in the vein of him. I don't know if I have it in me. One, the energy just changed the world because I'm already tired, and I'm only 21. I'm tired. So I'd probably be like Tupac and be like, I might not change the world, but I'll spark the mind of the person who does. So
Sure.
I hope I do that at least.
Okay. And so, like, what message do you have, at least for the person who is going to change the world?
For the person who's going to change the world, I really don't know. Just try to make sure everyone understands each other, because that really is the missing link. That's the only thing that we all need, understanding. Yeah, I think that's the only thing that everyone needs.
Because, I mean, that is one of the questions I normally end with. It's just, what advice do you have for people who are listening to this and just, like, the one thing that Duquan has to say to the world that's like, guys, we have to.
Okay. This is a very profound... let me think, because I want to say something very deep and beautiful. I will end it with this. You can't spell litigation without lit. No, I'm just saying. I really do not know. I really do not know. Just be kind and love each other. And, this will be, always do your research, because we're being led astray, unfortunately. I think that's one of the most important things that we could all do. Don't believe everything you see on TV, because I don't. And I wish I did, because it would make life, maybe it would make life simpler for me, because I feel like I'm always stressing out about like everything that I see. I'm like, oh, I know this isn't the truth. Like, oh, conspiracies, man. I think just do your research on everything.
Understanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it goes under understanding. Yeah, understanding, man.
Cool. At the end of the podcast, plug things.
Okay. Shout out to Duquan Haynes, which is me. Shout out to Mahar, that's my girlfriend. My mom, my little sister Ari, and my best friend Jaquay. Even though I already shouted out like all you guys towards the beginning. Fine. And shout out to you.
Oh, okay. Where can the listener find the stuff that you do? You put your music up somewhere, or?
Not really. Like I'll probably have something coming soon, most likely in January, since it's my birthday month. But if you guys want to see me not tweet as much, because I don't really get on Twitter that much anymore, you can follow me on Twitter, Duquan the Jedi, Duquan the Jedi. And I think that's like the only social media that I have. I don't have
Yeah,
Instagram, Snapchat, or anything.
Cool. I'm Santiago Ramones. This is Duquan Haynes. All my stuff is on my website, santiagoramones.com. You'll find my Twitter, my SoundCloud, and all that junk on my website, santiagoramones.com. I make music and this podcast, and I always end the podcast with my little bit of advice, which is love never fails. It's going to be okay. I might be wrong. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.
Bye.